The Al-Qaeda leader Ayman Al-Zawahiri is dead, taken out by a CIA drone strike on a home in the center of Kabul, Afghanistan, not far from the presidential palace, according to NBC's Richard Engel. Al-Zawahiri, a key figure in the attacks of 9/11. He took over for Osama bin Laden after the U.S. killed him in 2011. Al-Zawahiri was on the U.S. first list of the FBI's most wanted terrorists. A senior administration official says over the weekend, the United States conducted a counterterrorism operation against a significant Al-Qaeda target in Afghanistan. The operation was successful, and there were no civilian casualties. Here's NBC's Richard Engel.
Ayman Al-Zawahiri was Al-Qaeda's leader, succeeding Osama bin Laden, its public face, in dozens of videos attacking the U.S. and its allies. He directed Al-Qaeda's thinking, led its operations, was a key planner of the 9/11 attacks and the 1998 U.S. embassy bombings in East Africa.
We know that it was at Zawahiri's urging that bin Laden really took an interest in attacking the United States.
He meticulously planned mass murder, tried to arm Al-Qaeda with weapons of mass destruction, and wrote its declaration of war against the U.S. His transformation into the world's most wanted terrorist had an unlikely start. He was born in 1951 into a wealthy Egyptian family of doctors and scholars. He became radicalized as a teenager after joining the fundamentalist Muslim Brotherhood before training to be a surgeon. At 31, he was one of hundreds arrested after the assassination of Egyptian President Anwar al-Sadat. He was tortured during 3 years in an Egyptian jail and left seeking revenge.
They intend to kill us.
By his mid-30s, he was a leader in Egypt's Islamic Jihad. He met the Saudi Osama bin Laden, who was fighting the Soviets in Afghanistan. They bonded. Zawahiri became bin Laden's personal doctor. By 1998, the Islamic Jihad and Al-Qaeda merged, Zawahiri as second in command.
Bin Laden was a relative newcomer to the world of jihad. Zawahiri had well-established credentials. These two uniting up provided a team that could not be broken.
America was their next target, the World Trade Center in their sights. After 9/11, Zawahiri was seen in Afghanistan and then went into hiding, a $25 million reward on his head. He kept Al-Qaeda alive as ISIS became the West's main target.
Islam, and we are calling.
Pious, ruthless, the brains behind the world's worst terrorist attack. Even in his final video, he was calling on Muslims to attack America.
NBC's Richard Engel. We're expecting to learn how the CIA found Zawahiri and how they took him out when the president addresses the nation shortly. CNBC senior White House correspondent Kayla Tausche with late details now. Kayla.
Well, Shep, we are expecting the president to make that address later on this hour. This is a major conquest for the Biden administration. As you just heard Richard Engel say, he was Osama bin Laden's right-hand man and his doctor. He founded an Egyptian jihadist network that merged with Al-Qaeda in the late 90s. The State Department had been offering up to $25 million for information relating to his whereabouts. The CIA found him in Kabul, the Afghan capital. The airstrike hitting a residence there, according to a statement on Twitter from the Taliban. After retaking Afghanistan 1 year ago this month, the Taliban said no ISIS or Al-Qaeda militants would be inside the country. This, of course, raises new questions about that pledge not to harbor terrorists. We may hear more on that from the president. He'll be speaking from the Blue Room balcony at 7:30 p.m., Shep, where he remains in COVID isolation.